G'day everybody, welcome to Saturday in the Shed with Sid. A new little concept. I'm going to do the occasional Saturday video. It won't be wood turning, it'll be making something or doing some maintenance like I am tonight. So tonight we're going to explore the real reason why your tailstock is sticking. If you're like me, you've oiled it, probably haven't sworn at it, but it's still sticking, particularly back in that first 30mm or inch, and then it frees up a little bit. So the problem isn't what you can see, it's what you can't see. So today we're going to get in there, clean it out, and have it running smoother than the day we bought it. So there's nothing more frustrating than having it something sticky when you're trying to make something. You want it to run smooth so that you can apply constant pressure when you're drilling and you're not in and out and straining. So the first instinct normally is to grab a can of WD-40 or something like that and give it a squirt and squirt it all down, but sometimes that makes it even worse. So let's pull this apart and we'll have a look at what's going on. So this is a tailstock off a Woodfast WL1220. The concept is going to be similar with all of them. I did have a look at a couple of tailstock videos, maintenance videos, and they did have one thing in common. They all had us winding the quill right back in before we took the handle off, and the disadvantage of that is when you get the handle off, you've then got to wind the screw out by hand to get it out of the quill. So we're going to have the quill out when we do ours. Let's see if that works right or not, hey? So the tools we need for this, we need an Allen key to fit the handle and to fit the Allen key in here. Ideally, a little brass bottle brush to clean the internal threads in the quill, and a brass wire brush to clean the external threads in the quill. An air compressor is also handy. We're going to use WD-40 as a bit of a solvent to clean it, and I also have some methylated spirits, and you will also need a couple of shop rags because it's going to get messy most likely. So the first step is up this end. Now on this tailstock we have a keyway on both sides of the quill. The locking handle locates in one, and on the other side we have a little grub screw that locates. So we need to take that little grub screw out, otherwise we're not going to be able to get the quill out. So that's one of the first things we do, and we need a little container to put that into because we really don't want to lose it. If we do have a little look at it, you'll see, I'm not sure if you can actually see that there, but it's got a flat bottom on it that sits into that keyway on the quill. Then we remove the handle, the tensioning handle or the locking handle. That can go into the little box as well, and then we take the tech screw in there. We probably only have to loosen this knot, and there we go, we've got the handle off. The screw is still in there, so that can sit over there. Now this should just pull out like so, and then we want to take this out, and it's left hand thread. Okay, so we can already see what some of the problem is with all that gunk there binding up the back end of the thread. I don't know how well this will work, but we'll see if we can get a bit of a look down in there. So if I look down in there, I can see a build up of debris down the back end. I'm not sure whether I can get it to show up on camera. But you can take my word for it there. So the process now is, what we need to do is we need to clean the threads in here, which only go in about an inch. We need to clean these threads up here, and we need to clean down inside the tailstock. So you can see all the mess that's come off that thread. And now the next step is to clean this thread in here, and also just to check the outside of these keyways for burrs. You can run your fingernail along there and feel it. Do not run your finger along that way. Don't ask me how I know, but you'll finish up with a cut on your finger if there's a burr there. But you can feel, I can feel some little bits of roughness there, so they could be catching as well. So I'll just grab a little diamond file. So one of these little diamond dooflackies. It's a technical term for those in the shed. So that feels quite sharp along there, and I can also see a little burr. So it's just 45 degrees ish, and it's just a gentle rub. We're not trying to change the shape of anything, we're just trying to take that burr off. And we'll do that on both sides. And that's cleaned up the outside of that quill quite nicely. So now just going to give it a little squirt with the WD-40 in onto the threads, and this is where a little brass bottle brush comes in. So we opposite way to normal. So that should have given the threads in there, and you can already see some gunk coming out on those bristles from out of those threads, and all of that will be having an impact on how free the tailstock is. So what I've done is I've slid the quill in, and looking down in there you can see a couple of rough patches down at the bottom end of the tailstock, and when the quill, I reckon, hits about there, it gets a little bit sticky. So a little bit of time spent here with the wire brush is going to mean a much better result. So don't take shortcuts when you're doing this. It'll cost you in the long run, I suppose, in more time, or having to do a bit of maintenance on it again sooner than you would like. It's actually quite stiff down in there, so I've got a couple of slots in here, so I might get a little bit of fine wet and dry and just spin that around down in the bottom of there. Okie dokie, so we've got it all cleaned out, ready to put back together, cleaned and dried down in the quill. That's cleaned and dried. The thread's cleaned and dried, a little bit of fluff on there. And this is the rag that I use to wipe everything down. It was that colour. Now that's not metal filings. Examining what was in there, it was greased with graphite grease. And the trouble with grease of any sort, that's 2 rags, so I've dirtied 2 rags pretty well getting it clean. The trouble with grease, pretty much of any sort, doesn't matter how lightly you do it, it's going to attract dust and it's going to make a gunky mess and bind up. So the hack to get around this is a dry lube. So this is a garage door lubricant, but it goes on as a liquid, but then the carrying liquid dries and leaves a film of lubricant on there. So I will spray all this, I'll give it a moment to dry, and then I'll start reassembling it. I'll bring you back when I start reassembling it. So reassembly is basically just the reverse of taking it apart. We'll screw the thread into the quill. It's left-hand thread, so it's lefty tighty righty loosey if you want to go down that path. And then we will feed that back in there. And the advantage of doing that, you do have to put the thread into the quill to get it in, because the thread doesn't fit through that end. A, because the thread's too big anyway, but that circlip won't let it go through either. So we've got it in there. So the next thing is we will put our little grub screw back in. If I can get my fingers on it, fat fingers. Don't drop it in the sawdust, Sid. I may have dropped the grub screw in the last couple of days that I am probably not going to find again. So that goes in there, and that locates into that keyway. Now we can't spin it because it's in the keyway. Okay, and the handle, wherever that went, over here, does the same thing on the opposite side. Locates into that keyway, and then you can do the handle up tight to lock the quill. Now, if we have a look here, we have a little flat on the threaded portion of the quill, so we'll just push that back in so it's tight. Then we tighten up this Allen screw tightly, and with any luck we've got a quill that moves in freely. Lovely. So there we go. Thank you for coming along to watch my first little Saturday in the shed. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, do all those nice things, and I will see you next time.